Hi children, welcome to our next class. So from today onwards we'll start our chemistry. Before doing our lesson, we'll do one small activity. Okay. And you all well aware about Bhoju and Peheli in your textbook, right? So one day they both went to a party and they offered with some sweets. Those sweets are covered with the white color layer, and they wondered that what is this white layer. Meanwhile, their uncle came and joined in the party. He said that the white part is silver, made by silver, which is coated on the sweets, he said. And their aunt also came and joined in the party. And she also said that her tooth was spoiled and broken. So she made her temporary tooth with gold, and she showed her tooth to the children. And Peheli Bhoju really wondered like anything. They said that till now we know only the gold and silver are used only for making ornaments, but now we understood there are other uses are also there with these materials, they said. So yes children, we thought till now gold and silver are used only for making ornaments, but there are some other uses are also there with this. To understand more about these materials, we'll do one more small activity. Here what you are supposed to do is, you take some items which I am giving in the list. You can do this activity at your home because all these materials are available in your home. So the first serial number you write, and then material what you are going to use, and then their appearance, how they are appearance, and then their hardness, and then do they make any sound, sonorous. So take some materials and test all these parameters in your chosen materials. So first material, you take it as aluminium foil. Aluminium foil. This is an aluminium foil. So first material you took as aluminium foil. So how its appearance, how it's looking, is it dull or shiny? It's so shiny, very good. And so the aluminium appearance is shiny. One more material which is made up of by aluminium we'll see. This is also aluminium utensil. It's also looking so shiny, right? Then we'll try to scratch with our nail on this. Are we finding any scratch if we scratch on it? No, we cannot. And by holding, we feel that it's so heavy. So it is very hard. And when we beat this metal with any other metal, it makes some sound. When we beat this, or else when we drop it down, it makes some sound. You know that, right? So this is the sound which it shows when it beaten with the other metal, or else when it drop down. That sound is only known as sonorous. So it is sonorous. And now we will go to the another item which, and how with this appearance is, it's so shiny. It is also shiny and hard. Will it look hard, and will it give any scratches if we do with our nail? No, so it is hard, and it also makes sound when we beaten with other metal. So it is sonorous. And next one is copper bottom, copper metal, copper bowl. You take it's the copper. So is it looking shiny? Yes, it shows shiny. And it also makes some sound when we beat it with other metal. So it is sonorous. And it is also hard in nature. And when we come to the coal, coal looks so shiny? No. And is it hard? It's not too hard. We can brittle if we hammer, or else when we beat with any hard surface, it can break into pieces. That's why it is so brittle in nature. Will it give any sound when we throw it, drop it down, or else when we beat with any other metal? No, it won't make any sound. So it's not showing sonorous property. And when we come to the wood, how this appearance is looking? Is it so shiny like aluminum? No, it's not shiny. And is it brittle or not? Not too hard, not too brittle. It's not too hard, but it is little hard. And sonorous, will it make any sound when we drop it down? No. Like this, the substances or the materials around us are having different properties. They are exhibiting different properties. So based on their properties, they found different elements and arranged in a table known as modern periodic table. Modern periodic table, they arranged all these elements. Until now, 118 elements found. 118 elements found. Out of 118, 91 elements found on earth crust. And the remaining elements are synthesized in the laboratory. In lab they synthesized. Out of these 118 elements, you'll read more about the periodic table in coming classes. So in this periodic table, many materials, some materials are showing the shiny property, hardness and sonorous properties. Some materials or some elements are not showing these properties. So based on their properties, they are divided into three groups in the modern periodic table. They are metals. So our today's topic is, we are going to discuss about these elements which are present in the periodic table. I will produce the periodic table picture in your video and you can go through it and try to understand what are the elements present in that and what properties they exhibit. On what basis they divided them, this all we'll discuss in this lesson. So our today's topic is metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. So out of this 118, some are showing the shining property, hardness property, sonorous property. Those all comes under metals. They all are coming under metals group. And the other materials which are not showing the shining property, not so hard and not showing the sonorous property, those all comes under non-metals. So is it enough to find out of 118 elements, some are metals, some are non-metals, some are metalloids. So the metalloids will show the property of metals and non-metals. Then is it enough for us? Only based on these three properties can we divide or can we confirm that this element is metal, this element is non-metal, and these are metalloids. Can we confirm in such a way? It's not possible at all, right? So there are some more characters, some more properties to find out the materials as metals and non-metals. So what are those properties? We'll read now. Some more properties of elements, some more properties of metals. We'll see now. Those are physical properties, the appearance, not reactions with any chemicals. It's only by the appearance how they are looking, what property they are exhibiting. Based on that, we can sort out the elements into metals and non-metals. So about that we'll read now. Physical properties. Physical properties of metals and non-metals we'll see now. So this is the aluminium foil. Everybody knows that we'll use this aluminium foil to wrap the food items. To keep the food items for warmer for longer time, we'll use this aluminium foil. Actually, just now I showed one utensil for you. I told that this is also made by aluminium. Then what is the difference between this utensil and this foil? That means the aluminium metal can spread into like thin sheets. By beating on them, we can change that appearance into like thin sheets. So, the metals which can spread into like thin sheets, and this property is only known as malleability. This property is known as malleability. And the materials which are showing this malleability property, they are malleable. So now aluminium is malleable. The property, the metals due to which can spread into sheets are malleable. So now we will see, we'll find out around us there are many metals and non-metals. Now we will list out some metals and non-metals. Whether they are showing the property of malleability or not, we'll see now. Okay? So those are, what are those metals? Whether they are showing the malleable property or not, we'll see now. First one is, and what is that element? We'll read out each element. First one is aluminium. Next one is oxygen. Next one is coal. Next one is hydrogen. Next one is copper. Next one is silver. We'll see what property they are showing. Can be beaten into sheets. Can be beaten into sheets or not, we'll see. Can be beaten into sheets. What are the, why do you think so? Why do you think so? What is the use of these metals? We'll see now. Okay, children? So now, just now we observed about aluminium. So aluminium can be beaten into sheets. Yes. You are even able to see the aluminium foil. So it is showing the property of malleability. And what for? We are using this aluminium foils to make utensils. Aluminium is used to make utensils. to wrap the food items, to keep it warmer for some time, aluminum foil is used. And next we come to oxygen. Oxygen is present in air. It's a gas. So, can it be beaten into sheets? No, we cannot. And what for oxygen is used? For different purposes like respiration process. And so many uses are there with oxygen to burn the things and like that. This all you learnt about the oxygen in lower classes. And next come to coal. Coal can be beaten into sheets? No. It is brittle in nature. When you hammer it, when you beat with any hard surface, it can break into small pieces. So it cannot spread into like a sheet. So it's not showing the property of malleability. So what for we are using? The uses of coal you know very well. For running the engines, steam engines, and many other purposes, for ironing clothes and to run the goods trains and all, you know very well. And then hydrogen. Hydrogen is also gaseous form and cannot be spread into like sheets. And what for we use, you know very well. And copper. Copper can spread into sheets. Malleability property, is it showing? Yes, that's why just now we had seen the copper bottomed vessel we saw. The copper is spread into like sheet and arranged here. So it is showing the property of malleability. And what for we use this? To making utensils. And also to make the electric wires. Inside the wire we use copper wires. That we'll discuss in other property. And silver, can it spread into like sheets? Yes. That's why we are able to make n number of silver items. I'll show you one of the silver item to you. It is showing the property of malleability. Due to that, we are able to make many jewelry with silver items. So like this, these all the materials or these all the elements which are showing the property of malleability, those all comes under metals group. So this is one way to find out metals and non-metals. Next, when we move on to the next property, that is ductility. When we see the next property of metals and non-metals, ductile. Ductility means the materials can spread into like thin wires. Can spread into like a thin wire. This property is known as, can be drawn into like wires, small wires. This property is known as ductility. So the materials which are showing ductility property, those are ductile in nature. Those are ductile in nature, which are showing this property, those are ductile in nature. Just now we had seen copper, aluminum, iron. Iron can spread into like wires. Copper can spread into like small wires. Those wires only we are using in our electric wires inside to pass the electricity. Okay, that is another property of metals. So those are, for example, copper, aluminum, copper, iron, silver. These all show the property of ductility. They are ductile in nature, so they all comes under metals group. Okay. And the third property is hardness. Just now I said, if we scratch a coal like this with your nail, you can easily see a scratch on the nail. So it is not so hard when you hold it. So those all comes under non-metals. And just now we had seen the aluminum utensil. It is little harder to hold it. And scratches also can't be easily seen on them. So such metals, such materials which are very hard in nature, they all comes under metals. Which are so hard, they all comes under metals. And now fourth property is sonorous. Sonorous means when two metals are beaten with each other, they are giving some sound, so that is only known as sonorous. When they are dropped down, they make some sound. When they beaten with other metals, they make some sound. So all the metals are sonorous in nature, whereas non-metals will not show the property of sonorous, and non-metals are not too hard, and non-metals are not ductile in nature, and non-metals are not malleable. Opposite to this, all the metals shows the property of malleability, shows the property of ductility, show the property of hardness, and they also show the property of sonorous. And next one, if we see lustrous. Lustrous means shining property, and we just now did an activity which shows the shining property. So the materials which shows the shining property, which are lustrous, they are metals, and non-metals are non-lustrous. And the next one we discussed about hardness. Hardness is over. Next, electrical conductivity. Electricity, electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. To understand this, you remember the electric circuits. You know how to make an electric circuit. This you already done in your class 6 and 7. Just a reminder for you. Take a cell you take, and your plus and minus sign will be. So take a cell like this and join this with an iron nail. Iron nail you take, it's a battery or a cell, and this nail you connect with a bulb. Connect with the bulb and give connection to the other end. Like this, you all made electrical circuits. Electrical circuit you made in lower classes. So instead of iron nail, you take different materials which are available in your home, like wood or else rubber or your pencil, something you keep instead of iron nail, and give the connections and observe that whether the bulb is glowing or not, and you can identify which are passing electricity. So most of the metals are conductors which pass the electricity through them. They are known as conductors. So most of the metals are electrical conductors. Example, some exceptions will be always, as we discussed, even though they are metals, they won't show the conductivity. Even though they are non-metals, sometimes they will show the conductivity property. In such a way, your non-metal like graphite is a form of carbon. This graphite can pass the electricity. It acts as electric conductor, even though it is a non-metal, but it is exception case. So this is the one of the property of metals, electrical conductivity. They pass the electricity through them. And then the last property, thermal conductivity. What's the meaning of thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity means they pass the heat through them. Some materials, they'll allow heat to pass through them. To understand this, you can do one small activity. These all activities, practically when you do, you can understand better and you will never forget. This is the chapter which repeats for you in class 10. And so to understand this thermal conductivity, you take hot water in a glass and immerse some objects in this hot water. Keep it for 3 to 4 minutes and then hold at the other end of these objects and find out which object is hot. That means, for example, this scale other end is very hot because it's allowing the heat to pass through it. That's why the other end of the scale will become hot. Like this, you can test the thermal conductivity in different materials. So the materials which allows the heat to pass through them, they are showing the property of thermal conductivity. So which materials will show this property? All the metals. All the metals shows the property of thermal conductivity. And you know always some exceptions. As we studied, the non-metal like diamond, even though it's a non-metal, but it shows the property of thermal conductivity. Okay, so it's a form of carbon, a carbon compound chapter. You will be reading all this in detail. So these are the physical properties of all the metals. Based on this, we can divide metals and non-metals. So once we'll repeat this. They are showing ductility property, malleability, luster property, hardness, and they will show the electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity. Their melting and boiling points are very high. Metals melting and boiling points are high. So, are all these properties enough to find out the metals and non-metals? You see in your periodic table. Most of the metals will be given in the green color, blue color in your periodic table. You find out how many elements are given in the blue color. Those all are metals. So most of the metals will be. Then are all these physical properties enough for us to divide them as metals and non-metals? It's not at all. So we need to study about their chemical properties also. When you study about chemical properties, then it will be easy for you to understand which element is metal and which are non-metals. So in our coming class, we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So in your today's class, you do this activity, write all your observations in your classwork, children. Thank you.